There is something beautiful about a pajama-clad little body curled up next to you while you're reading a bedtime story, or maybe it's the secret joy that very soon they'll be in bed and you get to eat all the good chocolate without them wanting any. Or whatever it is, bedtime stories, they really are a beautiful thing. And it's not just memory making between you and your child, it is a real connection, and it helps them to just calm down, unwind, relax, reduce stress. Like, this is really good. And then hopefully it'll lead to a better night's sleep. Hopefully. Well, this is what I want to talk about today, bedtime stories, something that is just wonderful, magical, beautiful, and something that we should be doing. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. I'm Michaela, and I am so glad that you're with me today as I want to look at bedtime stories. If you enjoy these videos, can I invite you please to share them with your friends or, subscribe and be notified when a new video comes out, and check out the website learningthis.life where there'll be even more information. If you are a parent of this generation, then you probably know Daniel Tiger's bedtime routine. Bath time, PJs, brush, teeth, story, and song, and off to bed. We've done that, heard that many times while reading that particular story about Daniel heading off to bed. We've sung it. I have my own tune because I just write my own tunes to Daniel's songs because I like mine better. We have our own bedtime routine, which is 2 stories, prayers, and declarations, snuggles, holding hands, and falling asleep. Yes. Falling asleep. Bedtime stories are a huge part of our nighttime routine, and they really should be a part of yours as well. Now, if they're not, it's okay, and really, it's never too late to be introducing bedtime stories as part of your routine. Why do we want them? It's not just the end of the day, that we're just sort of rushing to get through and here you go, I should be doing it. There really are some amazing reasons why we should be having bedtime stories. It provides cuddling time. Who doesn't want to cuddle? I know I'm a cuddler, and I have 2 daughters that do love to cuddle, and so we do like to just sit there and to cuddle and to read. It's that connection. That connection really is important, and it's part of building not just memories, but that relationship between you and your children. It is an opportunity to wind down. Yes, our children should not be running around the room or jumping on the couch while we're reading bedtime stories. I have to remind one of mine about that. This is an opportunity just to be able to take that deep breath, to just calm down, to sit, to listen, to just reduce that stress. It really is great for that. Those sort of moments that we can just be and be there together. Opportunities to address sort of different issues and topics. What do I mean by that? Well, if you think we've been hearing a lot of talk about being a good friend or racism or stuff like that, this is a great time to be introducing stories that talk about these issues. It is a quiet time when you can sit and share these stories and reflect upon that. It provides one-on-one time. Now, having twins, we usually do 2-on-1 time. Just my girls love to have their stories together, probably because they each get to pick one, and that way they get 2 stories. But if you do have children of separate ages, it is sort of encouraged or recommended that you spend that one-on-one time with them, just reading books that they're interested in or are more maybe age appropriate for them, just providing that connection between you and them. Language development and increasing vocabulary. Yes, this is always me. Why we should be reading books, because it does increase that vocabulary. Yes, it helps with language development. All the research shows that we need to be reading books. So why not do it at night? A perfect time when they can just sit and focus and be hearing these beautiful words coming out of amazing stories. It fosters a love of books. Hopefully. For me, if we can read, and the more we can read and the different types of books, then it should be encouraging our children to really understand books and reading are amazing. And I say that I love books. I always have, and I've wanted this for the girls. But introducing our children to books from a young age hopefully increases that. Now, look, I get it. Maybe you just feel tired at the end of the day, or you don't really enjoy reading to your children. That's okay. There are places, there are websites that are great to be able to help you with that. I love the one where celebrities read stories, like usually their favorite stories, storylineonline.net. Why not? If you don't feel comfortable reading a story or you've maybe run out of books, then, sit together and watch one together that your child picks. We want to foster that love of books. It increases attention span. Yeah, this is great. They've got that moment of being calm. In doing that, they are listening. They are absorbing. This is great, increasing their attention span. You didn't think about that at bedtime routine, did you? It's like, no, I want to get them to bed. But just taking that time to calmly sit is really going to help with that attention span. And it develops logic skills. How many times does the child say, oh, one more time, read it again? Yes, they might be trying to drag out bedtime, but you've got to understand when a child is hearing a story for the first time, there's not going to be all the information there. We piece things together when we read. That's why when we as adults read a book for a second time, we're like, oh, I don't remember that last time, because we don't absorb everything the first time. So when children are asking one more time, or they're repeating that book several times over several nights, they are in fact developing their logic skills and filling in those blanks. This is a good thing. So there's so many great reasons why we should be reading bedtime stories. Now, pediatricians do recommend that we should be starting when our children are babies. Now, I admit that I didn't do bedtime stories when my girls were babies, but we did read during the day. But maybe this is something that you want to start even from a really young age, and it really can be anything. You don't have to limit yourself to just the simple alphabet books or those simple little board books. Ball, cat, dog. No, it's for them hearing that language is that helps them to develop. It's the tone of voice. It's you. I love in 3 Men and a Baby where I can't remember what he's reading, but it's it doesn't matter what you read. It's the tone of voice you use. Now, let it be something that's interesting to you. They just need to hear your voice and to hear the language as they are developing their own language. And I'll have some suggestions of some good books for babies on the blog post. For toddlers, it's the same. Bedtime stories for toddlers. The same applies. Make it interesting for you. This is a great time to be introducing a whole lot of new books for them as well. Now, I actually started reading chapter books to my girls when they were 3 because I wanted them to see how a story can develop, or maybe it's a bit more like a compendium of different stories all in the one book, but they got to know more about the characters as they sort of develop across these different stories. I really loved introducing rhyming books to the girls at that age, and even books that we could sing. Here's a couple of examples. Being Australian, yes, I like to introduce books from home, but give me a Home Among the Gum Trees. Any Australian child can actually sing that. And so this is the text of the song, as a beautiful book. And so, yes, the girls know how to sing this book because I've always sung it too, and I've seen them going through the book, turning the pages according to the music. The other one is 10 Silly Wombats. Now, I love this one. It's to the tune of 10 Green Bottles, really. And so I've always sung it to them. 10 silly wombats getting on the bus. 10 silly wombats getting on the bus. And if one silly wombat should make a great big fuss, there'll be 9 silly wombats getting on the bus. And so we actually sing this entire book as well. You don't have to sing it. To me, just rhyme, rhythm, that's important as part of language development. And this is great for toddlers. So yes, I'll have other suggestions on the blog post as well. And really, when it comes to kids, I could sit here and probably give you easily 100 different stories that books that we could read. And I could ask my girls and they would probably give 100 different books that they would love to read. We just seem to go through different cycles. We went through the whole the Daniel Tiger. Like every night we had to read a Daniel Tiger story. Or then there was the Peppa Pig stories. And going through all Curious George stories, all the dinosaur books, like How Do Dinosaurs Eat Their Food? How Do Dinosaurs Say Goodnight? A lot of ones that have repetition and rhythm, sort of more the poetic style. We've been getting a lot of those books. How do you babysit a grandma and how do you babysit a grandpa? My girls love these books. We can recite them all because we've all done them so many times. It's fine. I have been known to hide a few books just because I was done reading them. But children do go through cycles. I let my girls pick their books just because it shows what they're interested in and that they're engaging in. This is also a great opportunity to really make the most of your local library and check out new books. That's how we've done the dinosaur ones. And I laugh. I think we just put in the dinosaur books that we'd had and we just went and got more in the same series and we just rotated that every few weeks with the same books. So bedtime stories, they're just not the end of the day and that's it, we're done. There's really so many beautiful reasons why we should be reading bedtime stories and we should be making it part of our bedtime routine. And on the blog, I will have suggestions in the baby section, in toddlers and for kids of some great books that you can be reading with them. Let this be this absolutely beautiful time that you can just sit together and unwind at the end of the day and open up just something beautiful to read. And really, yes, I say, just the written word on the page, to me, that's beautiful. So we can do that with our children. Well, thank you so much for watching. And, can I invite you, if you enjoy these videos, to join us as a champion through Patreon so that we can continue to bring information like this, because this is my heart, to help parents, to be there for you, to give you ideas and just build this community as we learn this life together.